On a scale from 1 to 5, 6.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's going on, family? It's been a minute. Your boy Alan C in the place to be. Shout out to my sideline talk family. Herb, Tay, John. What up, y'all? Y'all still on the ticker. Follow Al U Buggin on Instagram and on YouTube at Al_U_Buggin. Follow Al U Buggin on Substack, alubuggin.substack.com. All right, let's go ahead and get into this real quick, man. I'm not going to keep y'all on this Friday evening. Saquon Barkley and Zach Bond both signed big contract extensions this year. I'm sorry, this week. With Saquon Barkley signing the highest deal for running backs. And he's definitely earned it. He took first $20 million player at his position, 2-year extension with the remaining 2 years of Barkley's original deal with the Eagles. So basically 4-year contract. Trying to see the fully guaranteed amount. But, if he rushes for 1,000 yards and the Eagles win the NFC Championships, he get $250,000 for that. If he rushes for 1,000 yards and the Eagles win the Super Bowl, another Super Bowl under him, he get $500,000. So it's like $1.5 million per year in incentives. Fully guaranteed $36 million, most ever for a running back. In NFL history, man. Shout out to Saquon for killing it. And, running backs are back. I don't know if Derrick Henry going to go up in the castle and demand his extension. He got to get a Super Bowl first. So, and then you also have Zach Bond getting a 3-year deal, $51 million with $34 million guaranteed at signing for Zach Bond. The NFL don't do what the NBA does, which is have NBA's most improved player. But if that was the case in the NFL, it would definitely be Zach Bond. Zach Bond, I ain't gonna call him an overnight success because that would have been one hell of a night. But Zach Bond, as a young player, definitely was showing promise. And then he got to Philly and got unleashed, and the shackles was off, and he was off to the races. And Zach Bond, you can argue he's the best middle linebacker. I wouldn't, but you can definitely put him in the class of best linebackers for the 2024 season at least. So he got a 3-year, $51 million contract as well. Now, I've been hearing some rumblings from Philly about they may have to move on with one of their receivers, preferably AJ Brown. Get him out of there for a new before they give him a new contract, and just to free up some money. But that's just hearsay from certain organizations and publishings, and nothing has been set in stone for that. But they did, however, release Big Play Slay and James Bradbury out of Philly. Nothing is official until the league year opens on March 12th, which is next Wednesday. But Big Play Slay and James Bradbury both will be on the open market when Wednesday comes around. Big Play Slay, let's see. Darius Slay, one of the top corners in the league, obviously with the Eagles just won a Super Bowl. But he's 34 years old as a corner. A place that's, made for agility and speed. So you kind of question what kind of market he would have at 34. But Slay has definitely been one of those guys that's earned everything he's getting in the league. And, he's a fringe. I say fringe, he's probably already in the Hall of Fame consideration. Maybe not first ballot, but who cares about first ballot? Probably Hall of Fame considerations. James Bradbury is 31 years old. The reason I mentioned their names is the Eagles are probably moving on from them two because they just drafted 2 rookies last year who could fill in. Plus, you got Kelly Ringo on the roster. So that's 3 corners that's still in their early 20s. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Kelly Ringo. That's 3 corners drafted within the last 2 to 3 drafts on that roster already. So the writing was on the wall for James Bradbury and Darius Slay in their 30s to either take a back seat or, move on. God bless you, type of deal. But while we on talking about new deals, Matthew Stafford also got a big deal last week. And Stafford got a 2-year extension. Where's the numbers? Got a 2-year extension staying with the Rams. We were talking about last show if he should move on, if he should stay. I said he should go ahead and stay. They did a contract restructure for him to stay there. One of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now. And the Rams don't want to start over. And they were the closest team to beating Philly this year in the playoffs. They pretty much smacked the Chiefs, smacked the Commanders. The Rams was the only team to really, put up a fight against them this year. So they definitely didn't want to start over with that. But he had 4-year, $160 million contract. Is that current? Yeah. So he won't become a free agent until 2027. So basically a 2-year extension restructure there. So the Rams don't have to go for a quarterback in this free agency class because there's not many of them, nor is there many in the draft class that I would pick to say can come in and start right now and give you high level production that Matthew Stafford has over the last couple of years. But what they do need to look at is offensive line, getting that offensive line together. They did make a trade to Chicago, one of their offensive linemen, to go block for Caleb Williams and them boys. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and start this free agency talk about. Again, it's not a huge free agency class this year for offensive linemen. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about who I think is in a good spot as far as we'll have a good open market. Alex Cappa has already signed back with the Raiders. You got Cam Robinson, who's almost 30, who's a free agent off of Minnesota. Jacksonville just traded him to Minnesota, so I think he's going to go ahead and stay there. Brandon Scherf, 33 years old, guard in Jacksonville. I don't know if they shouldn't move off of him, but I don't know if he's going to really have that much of a market. Again, he's 33 years old. Joseph Noteboom, I was just talking about how they should build up that line, and Rams, they can't afford to let him go. Ronnie Stanley in Baltimore. Ronnie Stanley and Patrick McCarry, both of them are restricted free agents. unrestricted free agents. So Ronnie is 30 and Patrick McCarry is 27. That's the whole left side of Lamar Jackson's offensive line. I think you should go ahead and work out a deal with Pat McCarry. And if Ronnie Stanley returns, it's because Ronnie Stanley wanted to return. He could definitely find more money out on the open market. He's only 30. He's played 2 years. Been 2 years healthy, basically played the full season. Those 2 years for, I don't know if he rested the last game of the year before, but basically all the games that he needed to be available for, he was available for the last 2 years, coming off of that injury. So he should have a market. Jedrick Willis is probably the biggest name as a free agent, and I don't think he's leaving Cleveland. They just redid Deshaun Watson's deal to make it a little bit more cap friendly, and that's probably, if I'm not mistaken, that's probably going for Jedrick Willis because you can't afford to have him hit the open market. You also got Ben Bredeson, who's 26 years old, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now listen, if we can't work out a deal with McCarry, I ain't mad at signing Ben Bredeson, even though he was here before. But yeah, you got Ben Bredeson, you got Mekhi Becton. Those two guards are 26, 25. Liam Eckenberg is 27. All of these are unrestricted free agents. You got Dylan at the tackle at Tennessee, 26. They definitely need to go ahead and sign him. I see all of these deals getting done before Wednesday, honestly. Yeah, there's not many names on there that's like, all right, I'm gonna break the bank for, but they could definitely help out. So I did mention Substack, right? Now I've been writing articles about players coming out in the draft. Go ahead, you see the address right there, alubugging.substack.com. Let me go ahead and talk about my favorite tackles in this draft real quick. You can see the whole write-up. I'm not gonna go through all the tackles, but obviously I'm gonna start with Josh Simmons. Josh Simmons, athletic, aggressive blocker, does a great job, climbing to the next level. Great job looking for work, meaning he just never stops blocking. If you are wearing a different color jersey and nobody's in front of you, he's probably coming to hit you. That's just a safe bet. I like Josh Simmons a lot. If he happens to fall anywhere towards 20, I would love the Ravens to go ahead and move up and grab him to replace that left tackle spot. I'm a fan of Armand Membo out of Missouri. He played right tackle in Missouri. He's powerful right tackle. He could definitely move inside to guard at this level because he moves very well, and he's a mauler in the run game. You want him out here pulling and lead blocking for you. So I'm a fan of Armand Membo as right tackle. To go back to the left side, I like Josh Connolly out of Oregon. Maybe a late first or early second rounder. Very strong. He can move. He's a tackle. He can move, lead block in the run game or the screen. And his hands are very strong, meaning as soon as he comes up and blocks you, you stop or you're going to jump back, basically. If someone tries to bull rush him, he's very strong at his base and is not moved. So I like him. And I also like, as far as a right tackle, Emory Jones out of LSU. Again, this is just for any teams. I'm not just scouting for the Ravens. I'm just looking at the best players in this draft. But again, Emory Jones played right tackle. It's a great base and pass block I was talking about. But in run blocking, this dude is a monster. You do not want to see all 315 pounds of him coming at you in the run game. He has a good footwork and kick step. You know, when you jump out your stance and kick back, he's great at that. I rock with yo. And last left tackle we'll talk about is Wyatt Miller. So these are guys, again, who I look at, who I think is very good as tackles in this draft. Wyatt Miller out of West Virginia, 6'6", 317 pounds. Great base and pass block, and again, a monster in the run game. He's a blocker that has like a very mean streak. Like he blocks to the echo of the whistle. And don't piss you off because I mean he in college doing that. So he go to the next league and start throwing grown men around, we might get scared. Only thing I don't really like about him, and you can definitely fix that, is his feet are kind of slow. So if you go across his face, he might not have the recovery speed to kick in. But those are the guys, and again, the writing is up on alubugging.substack.com. Go ahead, go there, subscribe for the free. I mean, if you want to give a donation, I ain't begging for it, but feel free to do so. But it's for the free. It's for the love. I love this game, and I love giving out good information to go write-ups on these kids, man. I don't want to trash these kids or nothing like that. I just want good football to be played, out of the next generation. That's why I've been writing up some good write-ups on these guys. What up? That's my co-host over there. So I also did a write-up on linebackers, so let's go ahead and talk about the linebackers that's in this free agency class before I get to the linebackers in the free agency class before I get to the rookies coming out. Now, as far as outside linebackers, Joey Bosa has been moved on, and Harold Landry. Again, nothing is official until March 12th, but basically a handshake deal of Joey Bosa and Harold Landry will no longer be with their teams. Also, Khalil Mack is a free agent, but he's 34 years old. If you want to go ahead and kick the tires on that one more time. Hassan Reddick is 30. As far as interior linebackers, Eric, I keep calling him Eddie Kendricks. Shout out to the Temptations. Eric Kendricks from Dallas is 33 years old. He's a free agent. Willie Gage, 27, with the Saints. He's a free agent, or he was currently with the Saints. He's a free agent. Malik Harrison in Baltimore. Powerful tackler. He was a special teams ace for us as well. He's a free agent. He's only 27 years old. Akeem Davis-Gaither. I like Joe coming out. So, Cincinnati, they cash strap. I'm quite sure he won't be back with them. You also got Shaq Barrett, he's 32. However, actually, no, that's the one that retired. Shaq Thompson is 30. Just for Carolina. He's coming up. He's a free agent. Devin White, longtime Tampa Bay Buccaneer, now Houston Texan, 27 years old. He's a free agent. Somebody's definitely signing him up. No question in my mind. You got Quan Alexander from the Lions and Raekwon McMillan from the Titans. Both of them around 30 years old, 30, 29. They're going to be free agents. And that's just basically the inside and outside linebackers. I gave you the edge rushers last week, who I like in the draft. But let's talk about the linebackers real quick, because I just posted this one today. So if you haven't been on the Substack, you see the address. I'm going to give it to you one more time, though. alubugging.substack.com. Tackles.com. All right. I think the best linebacker in this draft is Jahad Campbell, Alabama, 6'3", 245 pounds. Playmaking linebacker, fiery, great diagnostic skills, and he just explodes towards the ball. Like Jahad Campbell. Chris Paul Jr., no relation. Chris Paul Jr., out of Ole Miss. He's a twitchy linebacker with great speed and play recognition. Great in space. 6'1", but he's a thumper. Don't let that 6'1", 230 fool you. A guy I like that hasn't been getting any type of mentions, notoriety is Demetrius Knight II. D2 from South Carolina, 6'2", 245. Flows to the ball very well, great speed, and play recognition as well. He's great in coverage. He plays the ball in the air extremely well. Nowadays, linebackers got to cover. Like, that's just not even a thing. If you're a linebacker that can't really cover like that, you are a dinosaur in this league. So I do like Demetrius Knight. Also, like Danny Stutzman out of Oklahoma, 6'4", 243. Again, talk about energy, talk about motor, talk about aggression. That's Danny. Talk about coverage. Danny. Talk about speed and awareness. Danny. Danny Stutzman is a great linebacker. If we mess around and draft Danny Stutzman to play alongside Rowe, listen, I will be ecstatic. Also, shout out Cody Simon in Ohio State, 6'2" playmaker, linebacker. Jack Kaiser out of Notre Dame, I liked. Kobe King out of Penn State. These are good linebackers as well. So shout out to them. The write-up is online already. One more time for the people in the back not listening. Maybe they just joined in. Welcome. Al, you bugging? Substack.com. All right, y'all. I told y'all I wasn't going to keep y'all long. Follow the Substack. I done gave y'all that address. Follow me on Instagram at Al_U_bugging. Let me say that one more time. At Al_U_bugging. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Spotify. Wherever you get your podcast from, I'm there. Look me up. And that's that. Next week I will be talking about wide receivers in this draft, and I'm going to give you who's been signed, because Wednesday starts free agency. So definitely go to the Instagram, because there's going to be videos posted on these guys and updates of who got signed when free agency starts on Wednesday, March the 12th. But that's my time for this evening, man. Be blessed, be productive, be more. I love you. I'm out.